Hello and welcome back to my channel. We've actually got something a little bit different to talk about today. So lately I have been slightly obsessing over Warhammer 40K. I've always been slightly interested in it, and so I have a base level knowledge of the universe, of what the game is about, but never really went much further than that. In the past, I have owned a few Warhammer Fantasy miniatures. I had the 7th edition starter set, which was, I think it was like Battle for Skull Pass. It was like greenskins and dwarfs. I then had the 8th edition as well, which was Skaven and Empire, I believe. And I collected a few, I painted a few. I've never played a real game before. I would love to. But I don't have any friends that are into that kind of stuff, but that's fine. A few years back now, the Total War Warhammer series came out, so I've been playing a lot of those over the last 4 or 5 years now, I think. And I'm kind of at that stage where I wanted something new, and I've heard that the new 10th edition of 40K is coming out in about a month's time, so now is kind of a good time to start collecting. So I went to my local hobby store and picked up this, the Warhammer 40,000 paint and tool set. Comes with, I think, like 12 or 13 paints and a couple of models. So I'm going to be painting these over the next couple of days. The guy at the store was super nice as well, and he also gave me a couple of extra models to paint. So I've got a couple more Space Marines. It looks like they're both exactly the same. Now, I've never been a good painter, especially at miniatures, and you know, I've been watching some tutorials online, and it's crazy how small these are in real life. You know, when you're watching someone paint these on YouTube, they look bigger, but this is like this guy's head. I don't know how far I can get without that coming out of focus. It's so small. So anyways, I'm gonna start painting them. Yeah, we'll see how they turn out. Actually, let's open this up and see what's inside. I haven't actually opened it yet. Okay. Now, I believe the set has been out for a while, so this won't be anything new to anyone. Okay. Alright, so back to the models. We've got our players. We've got a little filer. You can see I've got all the paints here and a brush. There aren't any models in here. Oh, well, I am very lucky that the guy gave me 2 models. Otherwise, I would have nothing to paint. Is this meant to come with? Oh, is it just the colors? Surely not, right? Paints plus tool set. Here's the description. This just doesn't come with anything. Is it meant to? Hang on, let me check the website real quick. I'm such an idiot. I thought that the paint set actually came with a Space Marine and a Necron Warrior, whereas looking at this, it's clear it doesn't say. These were the other kits I was looking at, and it looks like these ones actually come with stuff. I'm so lucky that the guy gave me some models, otherwise I would be sitting here doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, looking like an idiot. That is awesome. Okay, cool. So it looks like I'm going to be painting 2 Space Marines over the next couple of days. Better get to it. Okay, it is now day 2. So last night I spent a bunch of time cutting up these models, painting them, and I did make a few mistakes. I accidentally cut off this guy's backpack. It's a lot harder than it looks. I don't have any glue at the moment, so I can't actually attach this anyway. I did try use a bit of blue tack, but that didn't work. The second guy was also unlucky, and I accidentally cut off his footholes, so I can't even put him on the base. Again, tried to use a bit of blue tack, and it did work for a little bit, but unfortunately I think I'm going to have to get some glue. But anyways, this is my first Space Marine that I've ever painted, and I have to say I'm kind of happy with how he turned out. It's not perfect, and unfortunately I can't really zoom in any closer on my camera without it going blurry, but there's a lot of layers of paint on here. I did a base layer of black, and then I was doing some white highlights on top of that, and then on top of that I did a layer of blue, and I don't think the white underneath it did anything. I'm not sure if that kind of only works with airbrushing. Oh, actually that reminds me as well, I couldn't actually put the bodies in close enough, so they're all like wobbly heads, which is kind of funny, but you can't really see the gaps in between the armor too much, so it's not too bad. But yeah, anyways, so got the blue on, then I started doing the details, so the silver, the brass. I left his little bags black, and then after that I think I went over and picked out some of the highlights, then did a dry brush with white over it, picked out some little details. You might be able to see some of the highlights on the silver on his little helmet there, but yeah, like I said, I'm pretty happy with how this first guy turned out. Now after I did that, I did play around a little bit with some different color schemes for the second one, and I think I definitely prefer the blue one over this this full kind of like metal armor one. Kind of reminds me of Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist, if any of you guys have seen that. Now I also tried to paint his gun yellow, and I didn't realize how hard it is to paint yellow. It's so dark, so maybe I should have based the gun with white and then painted yellow on top of that. Instead it would have been a bit brighter. I could always add a few more layers to this. Actually, the other reason why this isn't put together is I put this model completely together before I started painting it, and so it was really hard to get inside and do his chest there. So on the second one I thought, oh, you know what, I am going to paint it all and then put it together. So once I do decide on an army, I think I will do it that way, paint it all up piece by piece, and then I'm assuming this will still just pop in fine. Yeah, look at that. And now he has a gun. Yeah, so I'm not sure if all the models have these little sticks that you kind of like poke into the holes. It sounds like for most of them you have to glue them, so I definitely need to get some glue. But yeah, there's before I do that, I do need to decide on an army, and at the moment I'm kind of leaning towards Death Guard. In Total War Warhammer, Nurgle was my favorite by far in the third game. In Total War Warhammer 2 it was the High Elves, and the first one it was Empire. And I do like the Space Marines, which I'm assuming is their equivalent in 40k. So yeah, at the moment it's a toss-up between Death Guard and Space Marines. But anyways, what do you reckon? How do you think I did on my first model? And if you can see it clearly, I'll put some pictures up with this as well. Let me know if you think I could have improved on anything. But anyways, if you have made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully catch you next time. See ya.